Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kahaloyim Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai Ba'asham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to the elders in Connecticut, to the brothers that's out there in the four winds preaching truth and sincerity, to the hopeful elect, to the elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel. Shalom to the sister and Akwaf listen and learning in silence. Right? This your brother Aram Yahawada with the lesson. Right? And I remember when this whole thing, sparked off with Brother Polight, him going down there. I had just started into the truth around that time. So, and really just starting to get a feel for all these things. But you knew there was something spiritual about, the Apostle Tahar, because around that time, all these other camps went to his camp. They stood before him. Brother Polight stood before him. What's his name? Alazar was what they call the Watchman of Israel, which is going into that they were called the Watchmen of Israel, Fopi, all these things. But as time, even was the so-called House of David, and just as things went by, you have seen how Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai has kept Apostle Tahar unmovable. He's like that. He has to be that house that's built on that rock, and everybody else built their house upon the sand, right? Because everything is coming full circles and fruition. Shlakia. Yeah. Since I was mentioning that, let's go right here to Matthew chapter 7, verse 24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine, right? And the Apostle Tahar has been teaching 35 years at this point, and so he's been speaking the Lord's word, not his own word, right? Even the time of Polight going down there, he was speaking the Most High's words and not his own, right? And doeth them, right? You hear my sayings, what? Hear my sayings of mine and do them, right? And that's what he's been doing for 35 years. I will liken him unto a wise man which buildeth his house upon a rock, right? And that's basically what it is, man. He's been unmovable, man, right? And the rains descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon the rock, which is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, right? And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and do them not, right? Polight didn't do them. Sakari didn't do it. Was it a Watchman of Israel ain't do it? House of David didn't do it. What's that? Comfy didn't do it. ISUPK didn't do it. IUIC ain't done it. None of these places, none of these camps, of these so-called men of the Lord has done it, man. They ain't been doing what the Lord told them to do, man. and do them not, shall be likened unto a foolish man, which buildeth his house upon the sand, and the rain descended, and the floods came, right? Which is going to be Esau. When you're telling people that it's okay to, you know, take that venom, you know what I mean? To take Vanessa, you know. When you telling people they could take Vanessa, right? You're gonna be likened unto a foolish man, right? You don't really teach about the chip, right? Which is the mark of the beast, right? By the way, and the rain, it's likened unto a foolish man which buildeth his house upon the sand, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, right? And it fell, and great was the fall. GOCC, all them camps, man. You're gonna have a great fall, man. HOI, right? If they don't get their stuff together, trying to meet everything in the middle, you know, saying like it's the chip, but it's other things. So it's like, it's almost like you're just making like this whole thing so you can't be wrong. So you're like, oh yes, but it's other stuff too. So somewhere you're like, so you're playing the monkey in the middle, which is basically gonna be like you know, like the Lord said about being lukewarm. He's gonna spew you out of his mouth. And I actually like Sabbath. And I actually liked, you know, the elder Yaiquab. You know what I mean? I spoke to him a couple times over the phone. Yaiquab. So I actually like them brothers, man. But they're gonna have to stop being lukewarm.
Just making sure. They said that you said it was okay to rape 12-year-old girls. I don't know if that's true. Okay, good. That's what I want. That's what I'm saying. I want to know. I didn't put that on you. I didn't put it on you. No, you know what I'm doing? You can film over this. We'll go live.
Isaiah 65 and 12. Therefore,
I'm with my good brothers, the Hebrew Israelites in Miami.
You shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called,
we're going to have a nice bill.
When I spake, you did not hear. But then evil
Miami,
my eyes,
GMS.
I did not knock. Hey, cuz, you didn't see that he called him when he called you.
Say it again, brother.
You think the Most High was kind of
Hey, read that scripture again, because he out there moving his phone around.
I'm coming, my brother. I apologize.
Isaiah 65 and 12. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and you shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, you did not answer. When I spake, you did not hear.
You went up there to the heavens?
Yes, sir.
That was the Heavenly Father called you. He called you, you didn't answer.
He called me to do what?
To take heed to your heritage, to your nationality, and understand the words of the Heavenly Father. You reject it.
All right.
And then you said it yourself. You said, hey, y'all almost had me.
That's right.
With the Jonah.
That's right. They almost had me until I said, now hold on, we got to address the elephant in the room before we go forward. I said that the brother said he can have sex with minors, namely 12-year-olds, because Brother Tahar, we asked him, and he said, yeah, brother, yes. Now, you said in the kingdom. So in the kingdom of the Most High, y'all can have sex with 12-year-olds. That's what you're saying, brother?
Right, it's 12 and 13, right? What does a woman get? Their menstrual cycle, right?
Yes,
she becomes a woman, right? Around 12 and 13, right?
You agree?
Do you agree with that?
Does a woman become
A woman when she gets her
menstrual cycle, when she gets her period,
when she gets her period?
all right? When she starts bleeding, right? Because she's now able to have children.
I don't see a young lady as being a woman. Hold on, I don't see a young lady as being a woman because she's on her menstruation.
Okay.
I don't see that now. Now this is a part or a step into womanhood or into motherhood. I can see this being a step into motherhood, but motherhood doesn't mean consummation of a marriage or illegitimate sex acts against a child at that age. I don't know what kingdom y'all talking about, but how could a scripture prepare you for a heaven, I'm presuming, prepare you for a heaven where you can have sex with 12-year-olds or anyone even younger so long as they're on their menstruation, and you're not going to perpetrate that in real life? You're not going to attempt to have heaven on earth? You're talking about
a collection, a contribution as exhibiting an embodiment and proof of fellowship. So Captain Tazariak, you going off. Any of you that preach Dunyala, you going off. Any of you that deal with these people, you have no business dealing with these people. You are not to have fellowship with these people. Verse again. And what commune have light with darkness? We supposed to represent the light. They represent the darkness. They bring confusion. They bring wickedness. They are enemies to the Lord. And what concord have the Messiah with Baalel, which is the devil, which is anything evil, the unrighteous, the wicked. And you have Jakes that are wicked as well. It tells you that in Ezekiel 3, Ezekiel 18, Ezekiel 33. Or what part hath he that believeth with an infidel? The word infidel means an unbeliever. And what agreement hath the temple of the Most High with idols? We represent the temple of the Most High. They represent idols of wickedness. For ye are the temple of the living power, as the Most High have said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their power, and they shall be my people. Now the people of the Most High are the Israelites, but it starts with the elect. Verse, wherefore come out from among them. If you were a part of them, you not to deal with them, man. When Sarnetta and Polight came down to 34th Street back in 2013, they came saluting us with peace, but then they wound up using what we said against us. And now it backfired on Polight. Like I said,
forensic evidence confirmed Brother Polight as guilty. Result from a Miami-Dade County forensic lab was received. Confirmed the 14-year-old victim T.S. has a total of 6 confirmatory sperm stains on her shirt and scarf. A DNA warrant was obtained and served to defendant Noah on 6/8/2021. The DNA sample swab taken from Newark was transported to Miami-Dade County Forensic Lab for analysis. Hard to say that. Analysis. I'm trying to say it the right way. Analysis. I stumble on that word. On 8/10/2021, Miami-Dade County Forensic confirmed that the semen found on the 14-year-old TS matched the defendant Nowak was since been arrested. His bail was denied. Yeah. So yeah, like I was looking for the part where Apostle Hart had spoke about the thing of Polight, how he felt like Polight was really going down there to get confirmation that it was okay to, deal with a young woman, of that age group, right? Because he was saying that there was a situation that happened before even this, right, that kind of just went away. So I couldn't find that, so to put that in, but I'm gonna go ahead and speak on it, because the whole thing about that is, yeah, maybe he went to get confirmation about it, but there's one thing that, being that you don't have the judgment of the Lord, that was left out. So it says, because if Polight was a man of the Lord, he would know these things right here. So I'm gonna just kind of go through this real quick and see. The whole thing with this is people trying to lean on their own understanding. Hey, the Most High is gonna judge you eventually. I mean, you came to, a man that the Lord has set up, and has some type of favor for it. Like the Lord, man, Apostle Hart has to be a man of the Lord, period. I mean, there's no way around it. I've only met the man once, and but just seeing what it is, he has to be a man of the Lord, period. There's no way around it. So ye shall therefore keep my statutes, right? And that's what Polight didn't have. You don't have the statutes of the Lord, and my judgment, right? And the law, statutes, commandments. It helps you have judgment. Which if a man do, he shall live, right, in them, right? And you live in them, but then also what? It allows you to live a prosperous life, a pretty decent life, right? He is Yahweh. None of you should approach to any that is near of kin to him to uncover their nakedness. He is Yahweh, or it says, I am the Lord, or I am that I am, but it's really he is, because I'm speaking it from the third person's party perspective, right? So he is, right? The nakedness of thy father, or the nakedness of thy mother, shall thus not uncover. She is thy mother, thus shall not uncover her nakedness. and the nakedness of thy father's wife, right? Because if a man can have more than one wife, right? So if whether if it's your mother or it's your father's concubine or his second wife, or your father's the nakedness of thy father's wife, thus shall not uncover it, is thy father's nakedness. So it'd be like looking at your dad naked, having sex with someone who your dad had sex with. It's like having sex with your dad. Like, yeah, not good, right? The nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father, or the daughter of thy mother, right? Because your father can have another wife. He can have more than one woman. So you can have a sister who you have the same father but different mother, but she's still your sister. Or your father can have a daughter with your mother, right? Or a daughter of thy mother, rather she be born at home or abroad, right? Because he might have another family somewhere else abroad, right? Even their nakedness thus shall not uncover, right? The nakedness of thy son's daughter, or the nakedness of thy daughter's daughter, right? So if you had kids and then your kids have kids, so nor are you supposed to see the nakedness of your own son, but nor are you supposed to see the nakedness of your son's son or your son's daughter, right? Or the nakedness of thy son's daughter, or the nakedness of thy daughter's daughter, right? Assuming you're not a mo, right? So it's saying if you're not a mo, but you still like girls, you're still not supposed to do it to your son's daughter or your daughter's daughter. Even their nakedness thus shall not uncover, for there is thy own nakedness, right? Because your kids came from your loins, and your kids' kids basically came from their loins. So it's like having sex with yourself, like in a weird way, like not good. It's your own neck. It'd be your own embarrassment, your own undoing. Like you're basically sinning against yourself in that situation, right? The nakedness of thy own father's wives, plural, daughter, begotten, right, or engaged, right, or she begotten of thy father, right? So if your father's finna be engaged to her mother, and he has a daughter by her, because he's finna get married or begotten by her, marriage by the woman, her daughter, you can't. She is thy sister, see? That's your sister. Thus shall not uncover her nakedness, right? So just because he's marrying this other woman and, had a kid with her, or maybe, you don't want to do nothing like that, right? It says, thus shall not uncover the nakedness of thy father's sister. She is thy father's next of kinswoman. Thus shall not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister, for she is thy mother's next to kinswoman. Right? Thus shall not uncover the nakedness of thy father's brother. Thus shall not approach to his wife. She is thy aunt. Right? So if your father's brother marry a woman, though she's not directly your aunt, that's still your aunt, because your father's brother married her. That's your aunt, right? See, and this is where people, they never was taught right as far as the scriptures. They tell you, oh no, you can marry like your second cousin or your third cousin, but this never said nothing about you can't marry your first cousin. So if you wanted to marry your first cousin, technically you can. This is just talking about the direct kin to your father or your mother. You cannot do. Your father's brother, your father's brother's wife, your father's daughters from other wives, your father's wives, the very, very close, like, you know what I mean? Those are things, your mother, your sister, your brother. You cannot have, it didn't say about first cousins or second cousins or third cousins or any of that. So technically you can marry your first cousin, your second cousin, third cousin, right? Let's keep going. Yes, she is thy aunt. Thus shall not uncover the nakedness of thy daughters-in-law, right? Because your son married this woman. Now that's actually your daughter. Even though she's your daughter-in-law, you have to look at her as if that's your actual daughter. Like if that's your blood, because your son is, right? That's your son's wife, right? Do not uncover, thus shall not uncover the nakedness of thy daughter-in-law. She is thy son's wife. Thus shall not uncover her nakedness. Thus shall not uncover the nakedness of thy brother's wife. It is thy brother's nakedness, right? If you're, you know what I mean? It's like having sex with your brother. That's your brother's wife, right? And this is the part that I'm addressing right here with Apostle Tahar, because he was saying he felt like dude came down there to get confirmation that it was okay to have sex with, you know, a young woman, right? Because after she has her period, she is a woman, right? And then another thing that people are not looking at is when young girls or kids or children, like a young child, they give her what? Baby dolls to be mothers, right? To be baby dolls. That's showing them what they're gonna be in the future, a mother, right? A young girl becomes almost like a young woman or whatever. Normally, she'll do something like babysitting. And when you come to the thing, people go, I don't understand how just because she has her period. Well, a woman wasn't really supposed to work. She's only supposed to take care of the house, this and that. How much you don't need education to know how to wash dishes, change a baby's diaper, and cook and put food on the table. You don't need education. A woman, especially back in those days, a woman, you didn't need all that. That's why even in the scripture it says if a woman is to learn anything, let her learn of her own husband at home. A woman didn't even really need to know how to read, right? But because of feminism and all these different things, and women are out of their place, the structure of the homes is out of order. Because where was this lady when her daughter was, you know what I mean? Right? But here we go. This is the part that he was missing. Right here. This is Leviticus chapter 18, verse 17. Thus shall not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter. Right? So if you already had sex with the mother, right? Even if he thought, oh, well, she's 14 now. Obviously, Apostle Harnum said, hey, after her flower, she's a woman. But peep this. Thus shall not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter. Neither shall thus take her son's daughter. Right? And in some cases, don't take her son. For some of those people that's like that. Or her daughter's daughter. Right? Because you're having sex. So basically, that woman you're having sex with became your wife because sex is marriage. So now that girl, even though she wasn't your direct daughter, because you had sex with the mother, that became your wife and that became your daughter-in-law. So it goes all the way back up to this one. Where's that one with the daughter-in-law? Where was that? Salakia. Where was it at again? Daughter. Oh, right there. Salakia. I'm all over the. Oh, right there. Basically, it goes back up to 15. So, like, I was looking up higher, and I was like, why can't I find it? But here it is. Thus shall not uncover the nakedness of thy daughter-in-law. Right? So that basically goes back into that same thing. So it says, so thus shall, back to 17, thus shall not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter, which will be your daughter-in-law now, because you already had sex with the mother, so you can't uncover both of their nakedness. Neither shall thus take her son's daughter, right? So she had a son, and the son had a daughter, because you like, oh, dang, look at the son. Oh, hey, that's your daughter? Ooh. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, you can't take the son's daughter, or the son, or the daughter's daughter, to uncover her nakedness, for they are her nearest kinswoman. It is wickedness. And see, and overall, you came to to make mockery really of the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because really that's really what it was. And you know, you were getting this pop, this celeb type thing, and you know, really because Israel loved darkness. Any way they can escape and try to find their own a way of salvation without having to follow the laws, which the laws are not grievous. That's not grievous. Technically, that's not what the Lord had. That's not a grievous thing. It's not a grievous thing for a woman to be a woman. That's not a bad thing. A woman's supposed to go from her father to her husband and obey her husband. That's not hard. You don't need a big a thing of education for a woman, a young woman, to cook, clean, and do the things that she need to do. Right? You know? Says, neither shall thus take a wife to her sister to vex her. Right? To uncover her nakedness besides the order, besides the other in her lifetime. So the other sister, so if you're with a woman and she dies and you're vibing with the sister on some type of level, you could technically marry the sister because the wife is dead. And vice versa. If the husband dies, the woman can be with the brother, right? According to the law. But you can't do it while they're alive, right? So, call lawyer Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Wait, you know what? Nah, it's all right. Call lawyer Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Bashem Rakal Kodash. You know, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shai, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shai, call Loyum Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakal Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, salutations to the Akim and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, the hopeful elect, salute to the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel, Shalom. To the sister in Akwaf, listen in silence. Shalom, death to America.